about. When we are live, man, do you know today is episode 10?
Holy shit, we made it to 10.
We've done 10.
They,
Technically, we've done 9
oh no, I
because
can't.
the Lords of Truth removed one. But actually, technically, we did 10, but they only show 9 because they cheated us out of one.
I'm surprised we made it this far.
I am too. I mean, considering that
This is the show that people don't want us to have. We've
They
obviously
don't-
figured.
they don't
we've-
really like what we have to say. But hey, you know what? Screw them. This is about fun, and this is about, damn the torpedoes. Y'all can sit over there and be on your boring ass shows and all you want. We're having fun in here. But speaking of having fun, oh man, I see our friend NorCal is here. I see that JM was here earlier and he's going to catch the show later. Maybe he will join in live. Thompson is here. Chainsaw is already here. Yeah, few of the usual suspects who have joined us today, and today is going to be a bit of fun, considering that now I have a word, the name that I call YouTube, which is Lords of Truth, and I've now come up with a new name for Traxxas, and I am now forever going to refer to them as T-Hole. Because they suck. I mean,
the T-hole.
Once again, Traxxas's legal team has fired up their laptops and their notepads and sent out cease and desist letters to a whole bunch of people telling them that you can't make stuff for our 18th scale truck that would make it work better, because we already make parts that make it better. So if they're buying from you, they're not buying from us. So you have to stop what you're doing, because that is essentially just taking money out of our, $42 million a year pocket. Damn you people for trying to have a business or make some
Small
money.
business and make some money, yeah. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us this Wednesday.
Yesterday was kind of a fairly spicy, interesting day. First time in the history of our country, a former president has officially been indicted.
Oh yeah.
What appears to be pretty much the most ridiculous political witch hunt that you can possibly think of. Coach, good to see you. And I believe, Coach is going to be coaching some new stuff. I have been seeing some Facebook posts.
Oh, cool.
So, congrats to you, Coach, for getting a new gig, a new coaching gig. By the way, everybody should expect that gas prices are going to start going back up.
Well, thanks for that.
If you live in California, you already know that's going to happen because Summer Blend is coming. But
RC propaganda.
Hey, howdy, sir. How you doing today? But yeah, the fine people. You haven't heard this name or acronym in a while. OPEC.
All right. Yep.
OPEC has decided that even though several countries have requested the increasing of oil production, the OPEC countries have decided to say, go F yourselves. We're not going to do that, which inevitably means gas prices are going to go up. Which the great part about that is, 4 years ago, that we didn't hear about that because it didn't really matter what OPEC did, because we were kind of serving ourselves with gas. Now, not so much, because we shot ourselves in the foot.
To get rid of the winter blend?
Nothing new, just expanding my knowledge and growth in what I coach now. Weightlifting, just getting my level 1 USN. Nice. Well, congrats, man. That's It's always good to expand knowledge.
That comment from RC Propaganda about being from Traxxas to shut us down, though, is pretty good. You got
I wouldn't be surprised because T-Hole and the Lords of Truth, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I mean, we've already heard through the grapevine that our show is not the most liked show.
And yes, I have heard through the grapevine that there are people that are not. They don't terribly like what we have said on the show.
Oh, well.
Which, tough shit. It's the shit that needs to be said show. This is not the I don't know.
I guess it's a good thing this is America, huh?
Yeah. This is not the we will sit here and just say whatever boring shit you want us to say. That doesn't happen here. We're free to speak.
I'll never be RC famous because I tell the truth about RC.
And and this is a sad reminder for everybody, because even myself, I was just talking to Justin recently about how I was thinking about breaking my no Traxxas rule. And I was thinking about buying a Traxxas. And
yeah, we were talking about buying like a Vortec or something, or
yeah, I was thinking about
I drive the most advanced RCs known to a man.
Yeah. I was thinking about the rally car, because it kind of worked perfect for what I got here. I got a nice long driveway, but I also have a ton of grass and some woods to play around. So it'd be kind of cool to have. Well, screw that, because Traxxas once again slapped everybody into remembering that, oh yeah, we're the guys that sue everybody because we suck. You stole our design. You're not allowed to use our trademark. And yet, nobody in the RC industry has returned the favor, which, I mean, the behemoth in the RC industry, Horizon, has got more than enough money to turn around and sue Traxxas for something.
God, don't bring up the fire team in this show. I don't want to talk about that. Goddamn,
it was overpriced, terrible. And Earl, you're not the first person that I have heard say that about the fire team.
I might have had something to do with the video at the release of the fire team, and blah blah blah. That did not turn out.
I wouldn't take credit for that at all.
Yeah, I'm not.
Disavow any connection to that. I have no knowledge of any fire team videos.
I probably should have thrown in the trash.
Jesse, yesterday Traxxas sent a cease and desist letter to, I don't know, it was probably 8 or 9.
I know DSM had it on their Facebook.
DSM, Mud. Furitech, Tony Cece. Tony Cece, evidently, Traxxas went to Wix, whom his website is on, and told Wix to take his entire storefront down. So his storefront just freaking disappeared. You allegedly filed that video, remember? Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And I think that's what DSM was saying was, he couldn't even get into view his orders or anything. They shut him out. Shut him out hard.
Well, and then he countered back by going onto their Instagram, and basically they had evidently posted a picture or two. I know they had one picture of him sitting there holding a car, and he posted on there in the comment that you need to take this picture down. You do not have my permission to use my trademarked image. So, and I see that he's also changed his profile picture to through the Traxxas logo. I can't say Traxxas anymore. I have to call him T-Hole.
T-Hole.
They're officially T-Holes now. Yeah, what an absolute crock. And it just,
So we're just gonna grind out all the little guys. We're gonna grind out everybody trying to make a dime.
Well, and if it's not like that isn't happening all over the place anyhow. But here we are, the Brotherhood RC community here.
Oh God, yeah.
And yet another big corporate giant is just crapping on the RC community. I mean, would have officially given that title to Horizon, because that's pretty much what Horizon does, is just crap on everything, or they turn everything into crap. But no, T-Hole has now, basically reestablished their position at the top of the list of, I guess we could call Horizon H-holes.
Well, I mean, you had to have known that was coming, though. I mean, everybody kept saying, Trax is going to drop the hammer. Trax is going to drop the hammer. Sooner or later, Trax is going to come down on everybody. And they did. They did.
And the stupid part is there anybody at Traxxas, like in the higher ups over there, that are like, hey, legal department, pissing everybody off might not be a good thing. I mean, it's like, anybody that's paid attention to what Bud Light has just done, probably might have figured out that, just doing something that is going to piss off a good portion of your customer base probably isn't a good idea for your sales.
Barbecue. I was thinking about you the other day, buddy.
Yeah, what a
Does that sound weird? I hope that's not a strange thing for me to say. I'm a creeper.
Yeah, what strange times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at my notes here, and I have one particular note that I'm saving it.
You're saving it. Okay. Well, we need at least another 10, 15 minutes into the show before we get really crazy here. I mean, I know I want to. Oh my God. I'm already. This is where I come to vent. So I'm ready to
vent. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. It did sound perfect.
Oh, thanks, NorCal. Yeah. Thank you for backing me up on that.
Always shooting straight.
Do you sleep in the basement? Well, no. Oh, well, I've probably been bothering the hell out of that person. Anyway.
You're digging it deeper. It's just good. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll push the envelope yet.
Yeah,
more people on the show before I get really weird.
The thing I find that is most interesting about the Traxxas thing is, there are news sources around in the RC community.
Sure, yeah. Right. We know several news. I mean, we know several news sources in the RC community. I mean, I could think of a few. Yeah.
And none of them have spoken about the Traxxas thing.
Nobody. No. No, now because nobody talks about this shit.
I mean, come on, if we're gonna have, if we're all gonna be honest in community, and what, we got to take the good with the bad, and this goes back to something we've talked about before with influencers and whatnot, where they're not going to say something negative about anybody because that's the goose that laid the golden egg.
When Earl was explaining the fire team, you say something negative, people hammer you. It's like, look, you can't even have a different opinion anymore, or say, hey, look, and it depends. I admit it's when and how you come across, but still, it's like, and everybody just gotta attack you the minute you try to say something.
If you aren't towing the line for everything, all anybody does is shout you down now. They don't want to hear, if you're gonna stand out on the street corner and preach.
Real men of genius. Sorry. Protect their wealth. Yeah.
Yeah, Earl. Traxxas sent out cease and desist letters and to about 8 or 9 different folks that are selling
aftermarket
parts for the 18 scale crawler. And
yeah, they went after Tony.
yeah, they literally shut Tony's storefront down. But it was CCXRC, DCM, Furatech. There was a couple in there that I didn't recognize, like Bubble RC, Shrug RC, something like that. But yeah, just kind of, tracks us up to their old tricks again. That
God, it's even hard to sell out in the RC world. Jesus.
but yeah, the fact that nobody, I'm not surprised, Earl, that you haven't heard anything about it, because it's only been.
But this just happened just a day or two ago. I mean,
and it's only on basically a couple of Facebook groups have posted stuff up.
Well, and people who don't like controversy or adversary, they're not going to talk about this kind of stuff, man. No politics, no religion. We're not happy here. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and I mean, who's gonna go on their RC news and talk bad about Traxxas doing something bad?
Well, from what I know from being behind the veil of RC, from what I know about the RC news guys I know, yeah, they're not going to talk about Traxxas taking on these. I mean, probably not in any sense like what you'd think.
I mean, that's you're talking about that. Like I said, that's the goose that laid the golden egg right there. Traxxas is one of those companies that they do give out product to influencers in order to promote their stuff. I know not what you are making the face of. Yeah, I mean, it's the same with any company. Yeah, it's pretty rare that you see anybody bad mouthing any RC companies out there. If you have more than 15, 20,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, you're definitely not bashing RC companies, because all it
Even
takes.
That's the problem, and that's why we have this show, is because that's the whole thing. That's the problem, right? Is like nobody's talking the truth about RC.
It's the transparency thing. There needs to be transparency. There needs to be, the whole world is under the spell of influencers about everything now, because every company figured out that, it was a hell of a lot cheaper to send free stuff to 50 people who are really popular on the internet than it is to spend, $2 million for a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl.
That's right. I haven't seen Maria around yet.
The hobby grade RC meant to be modified wouldn't stop making parts, just wouldn't stop. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, yeah, and that's just the thing. If you got a 3D printer at home and you've got the files, you can print out all the parts you want. The problem is you can't sell those parts.
And I mean, really, what?
Or at least
it's relatively unclear. Because I don't have a TRX4M, so I don't know what anybody aftermarket is selling, and I assume that because T-Hole came out with that and then instantly said, "Oh yeah, we got all these upgrade parts that are going to come out as soon as this is released." So you'll be able to buy all this upgrade stuff for this car from us direct. Thusly, maybe that was their passive-aggressive way of letting everybody in the industry know that we're not going to allow you to do aftermarket parts.
Right.
And they let it go for several months, and then they just dropped the hammer yesterday. But that pretty much, to me, what's behind it. Tony and Furatech and DSM, they were literally making parts that Traxxas is making themselves. And probably more people are going to go buy from DSM and Tony and Furatech than they are from Traxxas.
It's like Jesse said over here, people will just buy a different brand.
Yeah.
And then I like that, Earl. sell a sticker, give them the parts. Huh? I mean, if you can get away with that shit, yeah.
I mean, that's a way of getting around a lot of things. You know, you basically you're not allowed to sell this particular thing. So yeah, here you can come over here and you have three options of stickers that you want to buy. You can buy the 29, the 39, or the 49. And then whichever one you buy is accompanied by this free part that comes with it.
I like that idea.
You know, and if I'm personally, if I'm CCX, RC, DSM, any of those guys where that's what's happened, is Traxxas has come and said, you guys are selling the exact same thing that we're selling, and we have that patented and that's trademarked, then yeah, the easiest way around that is, okay, well, I'm not going to sell it anymore. And you guys can put my storefront back up. And then do it exactly like that. I'm not selling your part. I'm giving it away. It's a freebie. I just happen to have already made all of these parts, and now I'm just giving them away. Traxxas technically won't be able to do anything, but I'm sure that Traxxas would try to find a way because they got shit pots of money, and they are willing to throw it around in order to, I don't know.
Holy shnikes! I don't know if nobody's interested in this subject, but we just lost like everybody watching.
Did we?
I think we had 16 a moment ago, and now I see like 8. Where'd half the people go? All right, fine. I'll stop picking my nose on the show. Gee whiz.
I won't. I'll go all the way up to the second knuckle if I can. I mean that.
Well, like I said, I just figured it's just one of those things. It's we all knew Traxxas was going to swing their sword sooner or later, and this is how it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Earl. You don't sell the parts, you sell the stickers, and then you tell, Traxxas, you'll get your royalties on your trademark parts. So royalties on $0 is $0. Suck it.
Right.
But you know, I mean, at the same time, it's kind of sad. I mean, it's not just, and it doesn't pertain to just the companies in the RC community. It's quite frankly, there are people in the RC community that are.
Well, it's not like, I've owned several. I'm not saying I won't buy another Traxxas either. I can't say I'm not maybe somewhat of a hypocrite here, but I'm not trying to like. It's what you'd expect, I guess. Like, don't be blind to it, I suppose is my thing. Like, it's all right to go out and own a Traxxas, but
that was my initial thought yesterday when I saw what had happened was,
but now
you guys that were all making aftermarket parts for Traxxas, you should expect this to happen. This is Traxxas, T-Hole. They are known for doing this, so you can't necessarily be surprised.
That's like when you buy a Traxxas crawler, you can't be surprised that the servo is gonna die in it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the story of the turtle and the alligator, where the alligator offers the turtle a ride across the river, and the turtle's like, "You're an alligator." Nah. No, it's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. So eventually, he convinces the turtle to jump on his back, and halfway across the river, alligator rolls over and eats the turtle. And as he's getting eaten, the turtle's like, "But you," and he's like, "Alligator."
What'd you expect?
What did you expect?
Ferrari of RC. Yeah, the most advanced RCs known to a man, Earl.
For making certain because of shock location resemblance. Yeah, Traxxas did go after Arma, and I believe that was shortly before Horizon had bought Arma. And when that happened, Traxxas kind of backed off when Horizon bought them, mostly figuring because Traxxas is a $42 million a year in sales. Horizon is $342 million in sales. So it's kind of like,
One, I don't know if I can say this, and maybe you should stop me if I go too far with this one, but I remember when we had interviews, and I'm not going to say names, but I'm going to say Axial. I remember when we had interviews with Axial, and man, I tell you, those people were pretty interesting about being adamant about we love the hobby and it's not about money.
yeah.
Hmm. I mean, even that was a little tough for me to swallow at that moment when that statement came out. I got to be honest. I was like, "You wait, what?"
Yeah. And that's not the only company representatives where I've heard people say that it's, we're in the hobby. We're a part of the community. We're not just a company selling cars. We're part of this. We love doing this and we love making cars and blah 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 blah. Blah. And yet you'll still jack your prices up when inflation is going crazy and everybody is sucking hind tit with money, because I saw a list earlier today of how much more expensive everything is right now compared to just a year ago.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, go to the grocery store.
I have a perfect example. Last year, the month of March, my electric bill was $287 for 3,908 kilowatt hours. This year in March, my usage was 3,850 kilowatt hours, but my electric bill was $358.
Yep.
So I basically got $1 a kilowatt hour, paid more $1 a kilowatt hour more than I was last year. Just kind of freaking sucks. Yeah, Earl, Ferrari won't. Not only Ferrari not allow you to modify their cars, but if they catch you doing it, they won't allow you to own any more of their cars. And I know, like I believe it's the 488 Spagnazia Italia, I think is what the newest one is.
Oh wow.
They handpicked everybody that got to buy those. This is a special edition of the 488, and they only made or only gonna make like 488 of them. They handpicked the 488 people that will get them.
Huh.
So even if you want one, you don't get to buy one. And I also remember when the LaFerrari came out, which is their hybrid car.
I remember that.
In order for you to be able to buy a LaFerrari, you had to have owned an F40 and an F50, and you had to have had at least 2 Ferraris in your garage at the moment you were buying the LaFerrari. Which is pretty. I mean, it's Ferrari. What are you going to do? Ferrari is the only company in the world that is basically a race team that sells cars to support their race team, because that's pretty much all they are. They're a Formula One team, and that's why they sell cars, is to support
the Karen of the automotive world. And that's why I come to the show. You guys dropping bombs over there.
I personally, I'm a big Ferrari fan. I love Ferraris, always have since I was a little kid. I am a huge Ferrari F1 fan, even though being a Ferrari F1 fan is it's like being a Dallas Cowboys fan at this point.
Ouch. Watching. There might be Dallas Cowboys fans watching.
And they will understand exactly what I'm talking about, because every year is just utter disappointment. Every year going into the season, woo, we're going to be good.
Here
We're
we
gonna
go.
be good. We're gonna be good. And about 3 games into the season, they're like, oh crap. Well, they're next year. We're gonna be good next year. Freaking sad. Oh, another.
Sounds like Traxxas has the same legal team as Ferrari.
Hey, they might. You know, the fastest name in RC.
You know, and that was one of the things that I wanted to mention too. Is we never got to interview anyone from Traxxas, ever. Like, I mean, we never.
Because Traxxas doesn't do. They don't do anything except self-promotion. And even at that, they're very, very selective about where they put their name, where they put their banners. Very, a very tricky company to work with. Detroit Lions. Yeah, Jesse, that's I'm a Bears fan, so I had a rough go of it for a long time. Then we had a couple glory years there, and now we're back in the toilet, I think.
Mama says foosball is the devil.
Yes. That is good. T-Hole are kind of the Democrats of the RC world. Did I say that out loud?
Oh.
Speaking of,
yeah, what else you got? What else you got today?
Speaking of,
this T-hole thing is just getting me all. I wish we had
it's
brought
kind
lube.
of it's kind of a downer, and it sucks that we had to take a part of our show talking about freaking T-hole. So we're gonna banish T-hole for the rest of this show and next week's show. There will be no speaking of them.
Oh, I don't care. Talk about Traxxas if you want to, but I mean,
I admonish T-hole.
if we're gonna go for the T-hole, could you at least put on a little lipstick first? Jesus.
Wonderful new product released by the wonderful umbrella over Horizon and Spectrum has released a servo winch.
Oh.
That is, for all intents and purposes, the weakest servo winch available on the market.
Absolutely, yeah, because.
And it's also like the second most expensive servo winch on the market.
Sure, of course.
And like when you go to Reeves or I can't think of anybody else that makes servo winches.
Oh, I don't know. There's a few. I think
there's a few.
NSDRC. There's a couple that make, I think, servo winches. But
so when you go to them and you buy a servo winch, it comes with the wheel, to wrap your servo, your winch cable.
I think you can find those on Amazon even.
Not Spectrum. It doesn't even come with a horn.
We're not even going to give you that.
Essentially, it's just a servo that will ultimately just spin in the same direction for as long as you want it to. And they're going to ding you for like $160 for the thing.
Ouch.
Why? Why now? Why now, Spectrum?
Speaking of just throwing your money at idiots.
Well, first of all, Spectrum, and last week I touched on it about new technology. And
now, I enjoy Spectrum equipment.
I do as well. Spectrum were the guys that brought the programmable channel mix or whatever it is, where it just scans through frequencies constantly so that you don't have to use crystals anymore. Brilliant piece of remote control technology that, now everybody has. When's the last time you saw anybody like, I got to change my crystal? It doesn't happen anymore. But, other than that, Spectrum, now that you've been bought by Horizon, which you did all of that great stuff before you were bought by Horizon, by the way, what have you done lately? The DX5 Rugged, I'll give you credit for the DX5 Rugged, is that it is relatively rugged. I did watch the whole entire 8-minute video of the guy from A Main Hobbies just beating the snot out of that thing, dropping it from ladders and all that, and just, and it survived. It, it did what you expected to do. Pieces of it are going to fall off and whatnot, but
Right.
it did survive. It was still usable. So it is rugged. You could definitely get it wet. I wouldn't, like go swimming with the thing or anything like that, but you could definitely get it wet, which is nice because I know I personally have ruined a transmitter by splashing water on it by accident.
Well, and then I've heard stories too though of people getting a rugged, and then the very first time they go out, they drop it, and the wheel snaps off. So
Yeah, and I actually know somebody personally who took it out the first time, and like some of the rubber fell off right away.
Yeah.
So, but that to me is the horizoning of the product. That's just Horizon makes everything crappier.
so much better. Well, Locos.
We're down.
Well, I thought nobody was going to hang out with us today, but there are a few people.
I think we scared some people off.
I don't understand.
We started out on fire.
We started out strong.
A little bit right now. It's good to see you, Russell.
I mean, this is the only show where I've been told I need to drink and smoke and cuss more, and then he said nobody wants to show us. I mean, you guys realize, I don't even know if I should talk about it. You guys, I tried to share this. I tried to share our show in groups, you guys, and they wouldn't let me share the show. They wouldn't let me. RC community brotherhood groups, right?
I got 2 today. That the admin will not allow your post to go up in the group.
But because we're over here,
it violates the whatever it is.
This group wants to control the truth, and you guys are over here saying the truth about RC. God forbid. I guess that's probably why only like 5 people watch us.
I think at times, I noticed last week it was going up and down quite a bit. I had not seen any of the shows that have dipped quite taken a dip quite like today. But I do want to say hi, Mom, who's probably watching. I haven't gotten a text from her yet, so that means I haven't said anything too bad. Mom is the arbiter of niceness here. If you get too out of control, Mom is quick to throw down the nice hammer. But hi, Mom. The other, I guess we're far enough into the show now where I can bring this one up, is we talked about transparency last week with a particular group within the RC community. And I would like to extend an invitation.
Oh, here we go.
Anyone, from any charitable organization in the RC industry, I would extend an invitation for you to come on the show. You send me an email. You know what the email address is: stickiesracing@gmail.com. Send me an email. I will send you an invite, and you can come on the show and bring receipts and show what you did.
stickiesracing@gmail.com. Okay, I just signed you up for every spam site I could. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, that is that is an open invitation to anybody that wants to be transparent and come on here, give you a special highlighted spot here.
You mad at us? You feel guilty? You feel like you can't have us on your webpage? All right, fine. Come on here and explain it. Explain.
You can come on here. You can present your screen and you can show everybody exactly what happens with your organization in front of the scenes and behind the scenes, because people are curious. That's all.
Well, and obviously we're just over here talking shit. So
I wouldn't do that.
Huh. I mean, maybe a little.
Ah, darn it. I forgot. I forgot that this week we were going to have a
All
special
those
guest.
people at the beginning of the show just missed out on probably the best part of the show that there was. Honestly,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
sad.
Everybody that's going to come back and watch this show in the aftermath, see what you're missing. That's what happens when you leave. You know, like if you need to go to the bathroom or you need a snack or something like that, I suggest that.
And this isn't like a show you have to watch either, because the greatest part about this show is you and I just going at it back and forth here and responding to these comments. Just put your earbuds in. Tell
It
your
is.
friends, tell your family, tell people you don't care about the shit that needs to be said show, because people don't want to have it.
Yeah, and we are. I mean, we are kind of like a podcast, where we don't do a lot. We don't do a lot of visual stuff here, unless you like seeing me wave my hands around like a madman all the time. But for the most part, we are just sort of chatting here, and chatting with everybody that's in the chat, talking about things and stuff and whatnot.
Bob, if you don't mind, I just want like 4 minutes. There's barbecues in here. Barbecue, you met me at USTE. I gotta ask, do you remember? Do you remember what happened? Because for me, it was a complete blur. I don't mean to be.
You had fun.
But on that comment, when I say that, that's the way it always felt too. You know what I mean? Like I always felt like I never really had a chance to make a moment to connect with people, or actually, like have, because I was always having to do something. Like
I know exactly what you're talking about. It gets when you are at an event as a vendor, there isn't a lot of time. It seems like there's a lot of time, but there isn't that much time. I know when I went to Proline by the Fire, it felt like 2 days went by super. There was a setup day, which didn't really count, and then there was the 2 days of the event, but it really felt like both days of the event just flew by. And
it was one of those things, like I said, when we talk about RC community and RC brotherhood, I want to be honest with myself and honest with the people around me. And I got to admit, man, like I remember meeting barbecue, but that's about all I remember. Like, and that for me, that was tough. That moment was, I felt like I wasn't being honest with myself. I'm not being honest with who I am. If I'm talking to, I care or I give a crap. Well, dude, I know I met you, but I can't remember. I mean, like how much does that show? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Those things for me and what happened.
There was, I know, I got the opportunity to meet Adam, Jack Crawlers. Got to hang out with him. Got to hang out with Russell, which was great. Russell and his wife, which was great. I know I met a bunch of other people, but there weren't there. Like you said, a lot of it was a blur. There was a meeting of a lot of people. There was also a meeting of a lot of people that didn't necessarily leave like a huge impression on me.
Well, and
and some of the people that I met was a little even kind of disappointing in meeting them.
Oh God, let's not go there. Oh boy.
Well,
you said So this show really should be how to alienate your friends in the first 43 minutes.
Well, not even
we've done that.
I'm not even trying to alienate anybody. I'm just saying that there were a few people that I met that they left the wrong kind of impression on me. And it was kind of like, okay, I didn't have that impression of you before, but now I do. And RC Patina guy and his wife were great. I got a good chance to like hang out at the RC Car Action booth where he had his rig set up there, and him and his wife were hanging out there, and I had a good chance to sit there and just hang out and shoot the shit and talk RC stuff with them, and very engaging, and his wife, very engaging, pleasant people to hang out with, really, like super nice people. And
Right.
there were other people that I got the very distinct impression that they didn't want to talk to me because I just, I talk to a lot of people all day long, and I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
I'm tired of talking to people. But you're at an event and you're supposed to be in it. Yeah, it just, it's like I said, some people just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They left the wrong kind of impression. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you are at an event and, maybe I'm the 49th person that came up to you and was like, oh, dude, and you're just like over it at that point. And that's just the moment that I happen to be that person that walked up there, which, I'm guilty of giving people the benefit of the doubt. There are other people that I don't need to give the benefit of the doubt because I literally would stand there for 5 minutes. And in that, you can learn a lot about somebody in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And certain organizations, it's more like a job than enjoying this said event. Exactly, Bobby Q. It's
Oh, well, and let me tell you what happened if I did enjoy said event. Let me explain that.
Freak showboat.
Yeah.
Showboating.
I believe the term was showboat. Yeah.
No, I mean,
like, I don't want to. Yeah, no, I've never wanted to be. I don't know. What did I say? What is RC famous? Somebody said, "What the hell is RC famous?" It's like, that was the thing. I guess it depends on how you look at that. I feel like the RC world is slightly a small world, but also rather kind of a large world. So it depends on who you know and everything. But I mean, there are people in the RC world. You say that name, and just about everybody knows who that is.
Yeah. Well, and also in the RC world, there are different sectors of the RC world where somebody over in the basher area could be super, super famous, and the racing and crawler people have no clue who he is.
Right.
Like, who the hell is that guy? I mean, I could imagine there are probably people out there that have never heard of Kevin Talbot. He's only got 3 million subscribers, but I mean, there is 8 billion people on the planet, so he's got a relatively small percentage of them watching his YouTube channel. And most YouTubers don't have that many, RC YouTubers don't have that many subscribers. That's few and far between that there are anybody that have reached that.
That's because we're grown men playing with toys.
And it is relatively hard to go onto YouTube and kind of show that off. I have at times tried to explain to people what my YouTube channel is about. Like, what? You do what with what? I actually had somebody that didn't know what a remote control car was. What's a remote control car? Like, all right, I mean, I know it's an odd hobby, but it's not invisible.
I mean, they do have them in Walmart. I'm not gonna. I don't.
Kevin Talbot is probably I would say he's probably the single reason why the X-Max is what it is probably because of what Kevin Talbot showed people that
what it can do. Yeah.
Capable of. Because it's just, it is the most ridiculous basher there is. And it can take far more abuse than anything else on the market.
Yeah, it's really well built.
And
except for the electronics.
That's, Traxxas is, pretty much all their electronics suck. That's Traxxas. But I can't say that there are many companies out there like where their basic electronics are that good anyhow. Although you drop $900 on an X-Max, you would think that the electronics would be a little bit better than they are.
Remote control car explains itself. You'd hope so, Chainsaw, but there are people out there. I mean, I'm still trying to explain to people, you know,
And Jesse saying we need to open an American-made RC factory that makes their own RCs, and that actually is a perfect segue into right before the show started. I was telling JB about a post from a gentleman who has a hobby shop and a racetrack, and he was explaining how the racetrack is for the love of racing. Racetracks don't make any money. They, RC racetracks just they don't. It's a money loss project. You only have one if you have the money to be able to afford hosting the races, paying the electric bills, paying the water bills if you have a dirt track, or replacing carpet if you have carpet track. Um, Being able to maintain it, having people that will help you maintain it. Hey, JM, good to see you.
coming in at the bottom half of the show.
But it really is, it's a labor of love. And it is, some people are able to give that gift to the racing community. And him saying, things are getting tough for hobby shop owners, especially small hobby shop owners who are not the hobby towns. I mean, there's, obviously you have Hobby Town, who is big. They're a chain, they're a franchise. So you have a little bit there.
I mean, ours is still mom and pop here in town.
I think most hobby shops still are, and they're small businesses. They're family owned, family run, because the days of the franchise are kind of, for hobby shops are kind of gone. They're It's not a terribly great money making business anymore. It's I mean, when you think about how broad the RC cars are, in order to have to keep up with inventory and parts and everything else, plus not to mention if you're a T-hole distributor, they have all these restrictions that they put on you for having their product and selling their product. You have to have a whole section of your store that's dedicated to just them. But he was talking about 2023, April 2023, he's still having trouble with supply chain issues. And the interesting part about the whole thing was the comments that people were putting in, talking about how, they're the people that sympathize. Hey man, it's tough to run a small business. Then there are people that are like, yeah, it's tough to run a small business, but at the same time, I also know how much you pay for a kit and then how much you mark it up. They give you a suggested retail price to sell it at, but you're buying it at a much lower price. So there is good profit margin in there if you have a steady flow of traffic. That being the operative thing in any business is keeping a steady flow of traffic coming through your business.
Right. Gotta keep that money coming in.
Yeah.
That's why we got 3 raffles going on right now, me and Rich. There's 3 raffles that are imaginary right now, but we're doing 3. I'm sorry, I can't.
First raffle is this is an eraser insert for a Pentel Twisted Base.
Nice.
Tickets for that are $500, unlimited buy-in, and if you win the raffle, I'll throw a second one in.
Look at that, 2. Now you can cover up all your mistakes.
But yeah, the good part, like having a racetrack and then having an RC shop that supports the racetrack, means that you're sort of creating some of your own business there, because racers are going to come in, they're going to want to buy the latest stuff, they're always going to be buying tires, there's just going to be consumables that go along with racing, that's sort of going to keep a little bit of cash flow and business coming in. Plus, you build customer loyalty and all of that kind of fun stuff. But one of the things he also mentioned was that, you have to support a bunch of different products, crawlers, racers, bashers, things like that. One of the problems he's having with supply chain, the biggest problem he has, is he hasn't been able to get any 2.2 tires.
Right. You were just telling me
Any
that.
from any manufacturer. He hasn't gotten any since August of 2022. Now, obviously, you could go places and buy 2.2 tires. I can go on A-Main right now and buy some, I'm sure, 2.2s. Tower Hobbies,
Yeah,
Amazon, places like that. And that sort of is part of the problem with the supply chain is our reliance on China. And right now, we're not doing a really good job of our interpersonal relationship with China. China just recently, Winnie the Pooh recently flew over to Russia and met with that evil bastard in order to make some deals with energy and also to discuss their illegal invasion of their neighbor.
right.
But at the same time, they were also working on something that many people might know, which is brokering oil deals and brokering the use of the yuan to be used for international oil markets rather than the American dollar, which is what it has been since the 70s. Also recently, Saudi Arabia and Iran, who are two countries of people, Shiite and Sunni Muslims, who do not like each other at all, they recently signed an agreement and a peace pact to basically join with China and Russia to start using the yuan for dollar for international oil trade instead of the dollar. Now, this is Saudi Arabia
dollar. Yeah.
trying to kill the petrodollar. And I mean, Saudi Arabia is a big deal because Saudi Arabia is one of those countries that we have been for quite a while convinced that they're our friends.
Do you want me to grab the soapbox real quick for you?
No.
Okay. I just want to be ready.
No. They have been our friend. We have thought they've been our friend, but they're kind of like friends with us the way women are friends with one another. Kind of frenemies.
Well, watch you're crossing dangerous lines out there.
Well, we're not on this show to make friends.
Oh, yep. Well, that's true.
If we were on here to make friends, I wouldn't be calling them I wouldn't be calling T-hole T-hole.
Every once in a while, I forget I'm an asshole. It's true.
But it is something, and I mentioned earlier that price of gas is going to go up because OPEC, which OPEC is basically a group of countries of oil producers, decided that they were not going to up production in order to help ease the price of gasoline. Now, considering that the United States of America is the largest gasoline consumer in the world, that would benefit us the most. And basically, OPEC told us, no, we're not doing it. Suck it, America. Exactly. They gave us the middle finger, which means that our one.
Oh my God. Well, there might be more than one, believe it or not.
There might be. Because I know my mother and father-in-law watch. My wife also watches, along with my mother. So, yeah, I probably did. But, look, let's be honest. That's what we're here for, is about being honest. And women, you can be honest that, women, they have frenemies. That's how it works. It's just what it is. But anyhow, I digress. That's where we're headed. That's where we're headed up right now is China relies on us because we buy so much of their shit. We are the largest consumer of pretty much everything in the world.
Well, that's because we put everything over there.
Yeah. And China relies on us for a large amount of the money that they get for, not paying all the slaves to make all the stuff that they make for everybody. If you're not aware, yes, China pretty much does use slave labor. It happens.
I
It
believe
doesn't
that.
happen here because we
I
have
remember
laws.
that being referred to as JB labor at one time.
I mean, if you if you want to know more about Chinese slave labor, read articles about Nike, Adidas, Apple,
Volunteering.
Samsung,
Sorry.
cobalt mines, lithium mines that China's not afraid to pay.
Oh yeah, they make phones. They make all kinds of stuff, man.
It was the Republic of Congo, which is not exactly a very nice place for people to live. They do have a few things happening there, but China is a very big supporter of the Republic of Congo government. Primarily you got to have that cobalt, you got to have that lithium, or else it's very hard to make electric products. And sucks if you need to use, I don't know, 15,000 miners in a mine that's supposed to be run completely automated by machines, but instead with people at a little freaking rock hammers on for like 14 hours a day.
There ain't no ocean. There ain't no ocean in the Congo, bro.
Yeah, Jesse. They not only did Joe Biden absolutely hurt the oil industry in the United States of America and oil production here, he took a big, giant, steaming diarrhea shit on it. Not just your average run of the mill pile of poo. It was bad.
It's bad.
Bad for us. Not bad for him, because I doubt seriously that Joe Biden has pumped gas in the last couple of years. He gets driven everywhere he goes. The Secret Service people are the ones who drive around and fill up with gas. Plus, the White House probably has its own gas station that they don't pay for anyhow. We pay for it, so they don't give a shit. If it's $12 a gallon, $2 a gallon, whatever. Ain't my money. But yeah, oil leases, denied oil leases, cutting back oil leases, not allowing oil leases to be relicensed in places that have been, shale oil and all of that have been produced for years. They just all of a sudden can't do it anymore. They've done a really big number on the market, which you can see now. When I first moved here to Tennessee, $2.47 a gallon. That instantly went up 3 months later, 2 months later, because that was conveniently when Joe Biden took office.
Right.
I have never seen it below $3 a gallon here. And that's one of the reasons why I'm, one of the many reasons, but one of the reasons why I moved from California was because freaking gas was like $6 a gallon, regular gas. Diesel was at like $8 or $9 a gallon. And yeah, it's just silly.
Is this like a weird episode 10 thing? Because nobody is like, the show has died, the chat is not going on. I don't know, man. I don't know. Strange episode 10 thing happening here.
It could be. It could be like the cursed episode.
I mean, you really think it's because we called people out? Because we actually said, hey, if you got, you got nothing to hide, come on the show?
If people are leaving and not watching because of that, okay, sorry. Apologize for, wanting people to be open and honest. Even before the official shit that needed to be said show kicked off, that was something I talked about when I was just doing my random lives was, we need more open and honest talk. We need people to be able to speak freely, not be afraid that you're going to say something that, somebody's just going to start yelling over you and not going to allow you.
I was just saying to someone last night that, the truth will probably piss you off. But I feel like people sometimes need to be blunt. Yeah. I mean,
green,
game over.
face blue, wide eyes. I don't know what that means,
It's
Jan.
it's it's it, they're emojis. It's game over. Yeah,
Oh,
game
like,
over.
am I supposed to type that out right now?
Pink
Oh,
hand waving.
um, yeah, and I mean, that's what this show's always going to be about. This show's always going to be about being open and being honest and being able to come in here and say something, not necessarily just coming in here and saying something mean or
No,
snarky.
it's not like you said. It's not an attack. It's not. I don't want.
I know recently, um, I had in one of the earlier shows, somebody had posted a comment and then evidently self-removed the comment, and then they'd come in and watch the show again and then come in and made another comment, and I removed that comment because to me it was kind of a snarky, um, just, hey, you know what, I'm not here for the whole if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all shtick. But I'm also not here so that you can just, you know, throw a little snarky comment out like, oh, haters have haters. Hey, screw you. Yeah. First of all, if if you're gonna call me a hater, then call me a hater. Come out and say it. Don't I'm gonna do this kind of weird little passive aggressive thing. um, but evidently, because I did that, I evidently, irritated that person and another person at the same time, whom
I mean,
both
I want
instantly
him
just.
to understand we're really good at pissing people off right now.
Yeah, well,
Was that in your notes?
no,
Okay.
no, but I mean, I will make a note of that.
Well,
We are good at pissing. We are good at pissing people off, and I think that is primarily because sometimes the truth does hurt.
well, and look,
People, people
man.
don't people don't want, and look, if you think I'm
Well,
being a
hold
hater,
on. Give me a minute, Tank. It could be anybody. Give me just a second.
wait, what? Oh, I was behind in the chat there. I shadow
Shadow
banning.
banning is real. Yeah, and it does happen. Well, and
Um,
like I said,
Hank,
why?
I don't think it's anybody necessarily in particular that we pissed off. It's just it it seems like people I get unhappy or irritated because we don't
Especially
have I
people with
because
enough
I'm not
influence.
drinking it because I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid,
Yeah,
because I'm not sitting here talking about how great and wonderful the RC community is all the time and how supportive look, there are great people in the RC community. There's
there are.
also assholes. There are. And we, running around or sitting in a show
Well,
and
it's just like I said. It's just like after lifting the veil of the what I would call the RC famous world and seeing those people behind the scenes and meeting and hobnobbing with these people, I feel like, man,
and
you don't really know. Nobody really
and
know. Let me tell you some of the awful bullshit that goes on behind the scenes. Ugh.
people that are 100% one way when they're in public and completely not that way when they're in private. People that will be frank with you when they're in private, but if you say something in public in reference to something, they will like, wow, that was, rah, 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 go team. Woohoo. You know, they'll, sit in the chat and blow smoke up your ass about what great things you're doing and how wonderful
Like
you
I
are.
said, I'm pretty sure this show should just be called "How to Alienate Your Friends."
Well, but I mean,
10 steps
I
on
would
how
hope
to.
that everybody that
I
comes
don't.
into the
I don't want
chat.
you. I mean, I'm an asshole, but it's not like it's not like I don't care what you have to say. I guess.
No,
You
and
know.
I would hope that everybody that comes into the chat and watches the show and has something to say understands that.
Like my opinion is not the end all be all
But
of the
it's
world.
also
You need to move on.
we're all allowed to have our opinion, and we're allowed to, we are allowed to speak freely
We
amongst
let the
ourselves.
T-holes hang out around here.
We're allowed to have, when somebody is fake, like let's say for instance, somebody sends you a private message talking about something that they publicly support, but privately think it's a bunch of BS.
Oh yeah,
And they will
from
they
there.
will constantly sit there and publicly support it. And it's not because it's because it benefits them. And that is, often the case with a lot of things, not just the RC community. You all
Here
over.
this person is just talking trash to me all the time, talking trash, trash, trash. And then every time I see this person, it's just absolutely nothing but good things to say. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
I like these
boy,
discussions better than RC jibber jabber. Be honest. Exactly. Barbecue. It's
I would
that's what
hope so,
this
man.
show that's what this show is about. It's about honesty. It's about us being, it's about us being able to sit here
I want to be
and
real with you guys. I want to be
yeah,
a real person with you people and not fake myself. Yeah.
because I don't want somebody to meet me in public and expect me to be this and then have me be somebody else, because I can
Right.
assure you this is me. This is just me. This is who I am, and you're
By the
not
way,
going to
raffle
somebody.
tickets to see Rich in public. Buy those at $50 a spot, unlimited spots. Send the
In
money
that
right to my
raffle,
bank account. Hold on, I'm going to put that in the chat.
let me post the PayPal link, and
Right?
remember to do friends and family,
Family only, please. Yes.
so that way we don't have to pay any of those silly hidden fees and taxes types of things. No, wait, I can't say that. We're on the Lords of Truth channel.
Oh my
Please
lord.
do it as a business and do everything the way the IRS expressly tells you how to do it, because we
Either
like
that
to do
or
things the law and order way.
buy Earl Moorhead stickers. That's
Yes. You buy an Earl Moorhead sticker and you will get some T-hole product free.
Tank. If you want to be upset yourself, man, you can just sign up for our website where you can give us your email and we'll totally ignore you.
Because, what is this? I had something that appeared. What did you do with their poem? What is funny? Mom. So mom is paying attention.
Oh
We
boy.
didn't say we
I
didn't
wore
say
a clean shirt
anything.
today, Mom.
We
Pressed it.
didn't say anything bad, Mom. We were just talking about how female to female relationships tend to be a little bit more strained, and that women often treat each other more like frenemies than, because that's how it works.
Here we are crossing lines on the shit that needs to be said, Joe.
Well, I mean, and again, it's I don't want to blow smoke up people's asses and be like, yes, everybody gets along wonderfully, and nobody ever says and talk shit behind other people's backs.
Yeah, RC community, RC brotherhood, all the way.
Because I can tell you, I don't talk shit about anybody behind their back.
Here
I will
I'm
say it,
doing it right
I will
here.
say it right here on the show, openly and freely. And I would welcome everybody to do the same. If you got a beef with a company, a product, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we can't bash products because, someday we may be big, bad YouTube Lords of Truth influencers and, have many, many sponsors who we don't want to offend or piss off our sponsors
I
by
want a
saying
donut
something negative
sponsor.
about their product.
I've always wanted a donut sponsor. I'm going to just throw that out there. I'm hungry.
Like Dunkin' or,
I don't know.
like
I'm not.
Entenmann's, Hostess, like actual donuts.
like donut, raised fried donuts.
All right. I would be totally down with that. So if there are anybody that knows any big donut manufacturers or bakers,
There
we
you
would gladly accept donut sponsorships. I'm down with that. I mean, who can say anything bad about a donut? Donuts are freaking delicious.
go. I'd say.
And I don't think there's such a thing as a bad donut either. When was the last time you like walked into a donut shop and you're like, I don't like that donut? No,
When you get
spend
a
20
cake
minutes in
donut,
there, you're like, I want one of everything, please. Because I can't choose because it's too difficult. Honestly, I don't know how donut shops stay in business because you buy like 2 dozen donuts for like $3. It's ridiculous.
okay, way to get sidetracked.
It makes no sense.
We're
I know
out
you
here,
brought up donuts. That's
out here in donut
100%
land.
on you. Because the other thing I want to talk about, because we're all about green energy nowadays, and we're going green. Everything green is good. In the 1980s, 38% of the United States electricity was supported by coal-fired electrical plants. I'm dropping some freaking knowledge here. 2022, can you guess what the percentage of electricity is supplied by coal-fired plants right here in the United States? Remember, we're green here. We're going green. 37% is supplied by coal-fired energy plants. So we, in 40 years, have dropped a whole 1% of our.
And we want to cut that out. We just want to cut that out.
Yeah, coal is bad. I mean, except for all the people that live in like West Virginia.
37%. That sounds about right. Like our government.
Yeah, we've done all of this, and we've been preaching and barking for decades about how we need to save the planet, and yet we haven't done squat. The only thing we've effectively done is we've gotten a bunch of people to buy Teslas and Priuses at this point. That's our contribution to saving the planet.
Well, yeah, and drive them really fast. I mean, you forget that part.
And we have 2 trash cans out in front of our house now, green one and a blue.
Like windmills are killing birds. Oh yeah, I've heard this story too. Look,
yeah,
evolution, bitch. That's I'm sorry.
They want to destroy the main fishing lobster industry because of the fact that there is some animal that is supposedly being killed and caught in lobster traps, which there isn't. But they want to stop that because for some reason or another they seem to think that building windmills out in the ocean is also going to be how we're going to solve the electricity problem and cure global warming by putting freaking windmills in the middle.
I mean, I'm not doubting anything. Like, I'm not going to just like throw it away and be like, hey, this isn't going to work. But
to be brutally honest, I doubt everything.
I know. Well,
I personally believe that
the yin and yang of the show. Here we go.
This really is. It's about money. It's all it is. It's
always about money.
You know, we know that we didn't go fight a war in Iraq twice because they posed some, massive threat to us. We invaded that country in 28 days, essentially. So it wasn't like we were really all that worried that Iraq was going to like put their military on boats and planes and fly them over the U.S. and start invading us. That wasn't going to happen. We went over there because there were a couple of really good opportunities.
That it could have happened.
There were a couple of really good opportunities over there. A, it's a pretty oil-rich country, and B, it also created a very strategic military presence in the Middle East, of which we're not exactly the most popular people in that area of the world.
I wonder why.
So, I mean, partly because we, we have a habit of like dropping bombs from drones and wiping out wedding parties, and we just have a habit of doing like some really dumb shit with our military.
So bring
And
down the hammer. Although
at times it just happens. It seems like it happens in the Middle East more than anywhere else.
Talk about the great balloon war of 2023.
How do we let a balloon fly over us for 4 days?
It's just like this is still.
How do we let a balloon from a foreign country who's obviously spying on us? How do we let that go for 4 days?
You just remind me of all the bad decisions that have happened so far, like and then this train wreck in Ohio where we light the chemicals on fire,
and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. There was one in Texas. In like the last 2 months, we've had like 6 train derailments. And like, what the freak, people? I mean, did like all of a sudden did train drivers like forget how to drive freaking trains?
Yeah, I've heard all kinds of things about windmills like that. Like and it's not just but like the cost to build them and the actual efficiency of them. I've heard that they can't spin too fast. So if the wind gets over a certain speed, they still have to lock them and shut them down.
Yeah, and there was actually a really interesting video that I saw about a guy talking about the cost of making a windmill, and the fact that windmill energy is it's green and whatnot, but in order to build a single windmill, it's like 50,000 gallons of crude oil needs to be produced, 10 tons of iron, 40 tons of lithium, 10 tons of structural steel, 20 tons of carbon fiber, and all these things. He's like, this is to build one windmill takes all of that in order to build it. And like you said, when the wind blows too hard, you have to shut the thing off. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, I think there's videos on YouTube if you really want to see something interesting. I think there's videos of them spinning too fast and catching fire. It's really cool to watch. If you like train derailments.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure everybody has seen just how big those things are. And, when you're relatively close, where we used to ride dirt bikes out in California desert, in the Mojave, there's a huge windmill farm out there. And when you're close enough to those things and they're loud as shit, they make a ton of noise when they're not even going that fast. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of crap that's happening in there, and not to mention, wind blows too hard, something goes wrong, and one of the freaking fan blades of that thing falls off. It's like the size of a train falling 300 feet. Yeah, it's all about money. It's what it's always been about. The whole green push. And
well, and that's why, I mean, you think of like, I live out here in the Southwest or whatever, and you think of solar farms, stuff like that, near Nevada. You think of the big, well, it's the same thing there. I mean, they're just so expensive to build and to make. That's why you don't see more of that.
And especially solar farms, they know that anytime like a bird flies close enough to a solar panel, it freaking barbecues them right away. Barbecue.
Oh.
A bird barbecue over a solar panel. Yeah, it's all bad. It's just all it's all nonsense. And
are we really just trying to slap a Band-Aid over a bullet hole here, or what? You gotta.
Well, and you want to be realistic. You're not trying to save the planet, okay? Planet Earth is going to be around a long time. If it gets a little bit hot and all of us die off, the planet's still going to be around. The planet will recover.
It's a huge chunk of rock out in space.
You're not really talking about whether or not you're trying to save the planet. And I know that you don't really hear that very often anymore because people realize how ludicrous it is. You're not trying to save the planet. You're in essence trying to
Yeah, but
save humanity.
whatever happened to Captain Planet?
Um, I don't know. He got exposed for being the fraud that he is. I mean, when you think about it, probably the person that is doing the most to help the human race to survive and live longer is freaking Elon Musk wanting to fly people to Mars. Yeah. If we're on two different planets, if one of them planets is not very good place to call home anymore, well, look, at least you got another planet, and now we got people there, so the human race will carry on.
Michigan has some cold. Yeah, you could use some warmer weather. Yeah.
Did you know?
Until the Great Lakes flood and Michigan is beachfront property.
Yeah. Did you know that there is only one person in the history of humanity that is not buried on the planet Earth?
Okay.
That is because evidently at some point,
I love
Russia lost an astronaut.
Whoops.
They lost one. Blew it off in space.
Yeah, the LAPD has tracking in their police cars. We talked about this. It's like, we lost an astronaut. Oops.
It's one of those random things that pops into my head that for whatever reason I discovered this information on the internet that at some point, and they don't talk about it. And I guess Yuri Gagarin, who was the first man in space, was, I guess, technically not the first man in space. There was somebody else that Russia had sent up before Yuri, but he got burnt to a crisp. So I guess they sent him to space. He just didn't come back.
Well, and they actually shot monkeys into space first.
Yes, so. But the monkeys came back, as far as we know.
There's one of my favorite handles that I like to use in video games is Fourth Monkey. So.
Yeah, Jesse, I have a really hard time judging how far away the river is from here, but I would say maybe 500 yards. I am luckily enough that I'm kind of up on the hill, so I don't necessarily have to worry about getting flooded out. But there are a whole bunch of people in the valley here that if the river overflows, it's going to suck. It's going to be houses floating down the river, which...
River house.
Yeah.
All right.
The other thing that I just saw today, I know everybody has been waiting because I know I was, we must have been pissing some of the lives been buffering for 15 minutes. That might explain why the number dropped, is because maybe we're not actually live. Maybe we're 15 minutes in the future for everybody else.
I've been watching this over here. It didn't look like, I've had this up the whole time.
Oh, okay. I thought that would be really cool that we would be in the future and everybody watching the show would be in the past. And then I could see something now that everybody would see in 15 minutes from now and be like, oh my God, Richard's speaking to us from the future. Thanks for ruining it, JB.
Sorry.
Jeez.
That's how we were going to break in episode 11 right there.
Hey, RC Cape Cod, good to see you. Now, I personally, I watched it a couple of times and I liked it. And that is Moana. It's pretty funny. It's a pretty good movie. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's pretty good. Rock is like this. He is the Hawaiian god of something or other, but it's pretty funny.
Okay.
I think it's about 7 years old at this point.
Yeah, I might have seen this.
Disney is now going to make a live version.
Oh, okay, live action. Oh, here we
They're
go.
going to make a live action of a movie that's only 7 years old. That was originally a cartoon, which they're going to have some difficulty with special effects and the CGI because cartoons are really easy to get away with a lot of stuff. Um, I is it just me or does it feel like it's too soon? Shouldn't you wait like 20 years before you make a live action of a movie?
Oh, hell no. No, dude, you should know by now that the movie I mean, we've talked about this. The movie industry is total sellout. I mean, we will
Lack,
take
lack
your image, we will replicate it, we will make you look younger, and we will keep you forever because we can.
how I mean, how do you say that your industry has lost so many people in the creative side of it without saying that your industry has lost a good portion of the creative side of the business by just remaking the same movie over and over again? We'll make a cartoon and we'll make a live action. That's a good one, barbecue. I I might have to do some research. I mean, are people derailing trains on purpose?
You know, I mean, we used to have train tracks that ran through our town, and I mean, they still do here in Junction. I mean, Junction's a huge train town, but I heard it's not all that hard to do. I mean, if you really want to accomplish something like that, you can do it.
I well, I
I'm
do.
not going to go into any kind of detail or anything.
Um, yeah, and I was going to say that I don't know why anybody would want to derail a train, although actually I do. You know,
Yeah, it
chaos.
caused mayhem. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got you, sucker.
that's right.
Um,
Oh, Cape Cod. You man, you're gonna have to go back and watch the middle of the show, dude. The middle of the show was the best part of the whole show.
yeah, we were on a roll there, and then all of a sudden we got a little it got a little deflated
I
because
don't know. Like
like
I
we
said, this
lost half of the
episode 10
viewers.
has got a
And
funky feeling to it. Whatever. Like, you know,
is it something I said?
we keep calling people out. We keep saying the truth, and it's like they got huge contracts in December. Huh.
Uh-uh. Something strange is afoot. That's what it feels like. Train unions.
Mm.
Unions. There's some unions that are good, and there are some unions that just need to be disbanded because they're wastes of everything. I'm going to say it out loud. The teachers union, pretty
Oh,
much. Teachers union is pretty much shit because there are only a couple of things that teachers have to do nowadays that will get them fired. Otherwise, they'll get the Catholic priest treatment, where you do something wrong, they'll just shove you off to a different school. Go over there. Everybody will forget about it. And yes, I did say that out loud.
I heard you.
All tied to the pipelines.
Man, RC
Yeah,
Cape Cod on fire over here.
that doesn't surprise me, Cape Cod, because with the way things have been going and the way things are continuing to go with
Well, that's so we can light stuff on fire, Bobby. I don't know. The
well, it's
water.
also, I mean, you
How do you
gotta
get
have,
three-eyed fish, man?
yeah, I mean, how do you mass distribute, nasty chemicals? Yeah, it's interesting. I had somebody recently text me about an article that he read about an ex CIA guy saying that everybody needs to move away from big coastal cities because big coastal cities are the what would be the targets for an attack on the
Well, of
United States.
course. I mean, yeah.
And I actually countered with, actually, it would be all big cities. And the article, they were referring mostly to nuclear weapons, but the reality is that nuclear weapons are, that's 1980s, man. That's so 1980s. Nobody needs nukes anymore because chemical and biological weapons are so much more effective. And you don't destroy the land while you're using them.
Right.
You get rid of all that pesky organic matter, but you still got good dirt left. Dirt's very valuable. That's the one natural resource that is not being replenished anywhere. I believe that was the basis for one of the Superman movies. That
I'm back. Why did you leave?
Nuclear bomb, sweet. See? That's what happens. You start talking about nuclear bombs, and people are like, "Whoa!"
Nuclear weapons. Love that
Yeah.
stuff.
But
Derailing trains and nuclear weapons over here on the shit that needs to be said show.
we talk about everything. We're not just an RC talk show. We are an all-encompassing, full-service talk show. We cover it all,
I will charge you for that.
top to bottom. Technical issues. Well, I mean, come on, NorCal. You're not supposed to have technical issues on Wednesdays. That's the day to not, you got to prepare.
Yeah, like you said, you missed some of the best, but like it was the middle of the show was some of the best.
If you want, I can give you a small recap of what we talked about. Coal-fired power plants, offering up a spot on the show to any non-charitable money-making organizations that want to come in and justify their existence or how much money they're spending or making. Gas prices going to go up. I think we talked about that. Spectrum servo winch, which is pretty much kind of a piece of crap for $150. You were still here for the Traxxas.
I'm sorry.
Harder at this point.
Finally a comment worth.
And then RC hobby shops and tracks that they're suffering because
RC Supreme.
Thank you, NorCal.
I can't every time. Oh my god.
You
make me want to slap your name on the side of a servo so I can secretly hand you a whole bunch of money for it.
Master. Yes, Cape Cod master. But I did want, because we're now on 37 into it, so we got some time, and I wanted.
We definitely have time to piss off more people and lose more viewers.
Nope. I actually want to talk about inspiring and potential. That there is the potential for good, and there is the potential to inspire and help people and do right by people. Oh, I also forgot NorCal about Moana. They're making a live version, a live action of Moana, which I know everybody was going to run to the theater to see that one because The Rock is going to be in that one too. Anyway, the RC community has the potential, and there are good people in the RC community. We have a bunch of you here with us hanging out. You guys like having fun. You like listening to me ramble on about, coal-fired plants and T-holes and transparency and all kinds of random things. But, everybody here understands that, hey, we're having some fun. When it all boils down to it, we're all here to have fun. Life is stressful enough. Life is shitty enough as it is. Our little hobby is supposed to be a release. It's for some people, it's a money-making enterprise. and they don't care about the community at large. They care about the community at large that contributes money to what they're doing. Companies that don't necessarily care about the RC community, and because they'll go and shut your website down on you. But at the same time, there are good people who are trying to do right and trying to help. And I want to applaud those people and thank those people. I can't name any of them by name off the top of my head, but I know they're out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's definitely a few good eggs in the RC world, right? There's got to be.
Yeah. And
I mean, just because I seem to run into a negative magnet doesn't mean that you have to.
you should have led with that.
Yeah,
I can't start the show off on a positive note, NorCal. Or unless you're talking about the live action Moana, then you may be right, because I know actually that's not good, because everybody's going to run out and drop the show to go find out about more live action Moana news.
They did. They're already gone.
You know, come on. But yeah, I mean, there are good people. I believe that even in some of the organizations that I have not had nice things to say about, there are good people within there that are trying to do the right thing. They're trying to help. They want to do, and they want to help. And I applaud that. I applaud the idea of what Operation 11 Charlie started out to be. It was something that, in my opinion, felt like it was honest and true, and that was where, honestly, it was something I was proud to be a part of. And it was something that was sort of food for the soul. And there are other organizations out there that do good things.
That was good.
Beyond the RC community. But I caution everyone. And as I have cautioned before, that before you drink the Kool-Aid and jump right in and offer up support and money and all of that, just do an even basic amount of investigation to see if it's worthy. Because there are some out there that are worthy of you sending money, of you trying to spend time to help those people. There are plenty of organizations out there that are worthy of that.
Well, we've talked. I mean, if you want an immediate impact on people, you should do that on a personal level. I mean, like you said, that's the thing. I don't know if people remember, but that's how it all started in the first place.
Yeah,
was going out in person and finding people who needed help.
Yeah.
And then now, like I said, I mean, Rich, we've started a waiting list.
They're just it feels like there are more than enough people out there who want to do the right thing and want to help, to counter the flip side of the coin of the people who just are out there to start something up as a business and a money-making opportunity and a way to,
what did we say? Build our collection?
Build a collection, build an empire, build whatever it is you're looking for. And
maybe a Thursday night talk show with about, 12 or so people in it that, I don't know.
When it comes to live,
you had to scam and scheme to get that far. I don't know what to say to you.
When it comes to, there are more than enough ways for people to spend their money to help people. God knows there is so many people out there that have their hand out wanting to take your money from you. Not necessarily because they are really that interested in helping people, but they're interested in telling you they are. They're interested in taking your money. And the best way to help people is to literally help people, you know. And I invite everybody to, you know, go out into your RC community, your local community, your friends that you normally
Don't
RC
no,
with.
because what you're gonna do is you're gonna make these people lose all their friends instantly.
No. I'm just saying, talk to the people in your local RC community, and say, you know what, we're a part of a hobby that we all have discretionary income. That's how we can afford to be a part of this hobby. This hobby isn't cheap. We all spend a fair amount of money. And if you get together and say, hey, you know what, all of us, we don't have to chip in $50, $100. We can chip in $5 a piece. And we're going to donate it to a local charity, local Goodwill. Goodwill does good stuff. I mean,
Right.
honestly, there's nothing wrong with donating money to Goodwill. There's nothing wrong with, donating money to a soup kitchen, or even just going and buying a bunch of
Well, I mean,
cans and
go down
whatnot.
and volunteer at a soup kitchen. I mean, just if you it depends on what you're looking for. Because
Yeah,
I tell you
if
what,
you're
like I
not,
said, if
if
you
you,
want to see the impact on people's faces, if you want that kind of, then go help people.
yeah,
But you're
and that,
never going to get that. You're never going to get that by handing somebody else money and hoping that somebody else is going to help somebody for you.
and that is, we have a habit of doing that. We want to help. We we all give money when we, at the grocery store, whatever.
Abba you're my only friend.
um, I mean, but even overall, there is, even if you don't include your local RC community, mostly it just, the reason why, especially the crawler and trailing community, got the reputation that it has for being this friendly, you know, inviting environment for you, because of all the good people that are a part of it.
Well, now
Obviously,
I mean, I don't
there
know.
are a lot of,
Even at my local level, there was quite a bit of a. I mean, there
but
still is.
you have to think about it, is that anytime you get good people that are congregating to one another, there are opportunistic people who see those communities and say, I see dollar signs.
Oh yeah,
I see good people who want to do good things,
right.
and I can sap them for every freaking penny that I can. And there's an easy way to combat that, which is, you know, we need to stop donating all this money to all of these big national nonprofit charitable organizations that are also LLCs. LLC being a limited liability corporation. It's
Oh
a
my god.
business. Questions: does T hole include a glory hole or their new RC on their new RC? I would say it's a reverse of that, barbecue. It comes with an attachment. You gave your own. We're a big part in the organization. The work you did was still noble, even though the end did not turn out. You still helped people. Don't throw that good work away. Not throwing it away at all. I still personally feel like, I contributed. I did a good thing at Operation 11 Charlie, and as I had explained before, I left because I didn't feel good about what was going on anymore. It didn't give me the same feeling as it did in the beginning. And because of that, I can't be, if I'm not committed to something, it's like being in a marriage. If you're only half committed to your marriage isn't going to be that great. If you're only half committed to a friendship's not going to be that great. You're only half committed to something, you're only half committed to it. And, in my eyes, it's, I don't want to do anything halfway. I want to do it. I want to do it. I did not say that, NorCal. I may have insinuated that that's what comes in a T-hole box, but
Oh
but
wow.
yeah,
That's a blunt comment.
Hello, Chaos. It's, and it's like I said, there are people in the Operation 11 Charlie organization that I still believe are good people doing good things and trying to help as many people as they can. I I just have questions,
Well,
and
I'm not. No. Don't you say I'm one of the good guys out there? That's not fair. No, but
I I have questions. It's why I extended invitation for anybody from
yeah, we
any
said, hey, look,
organization.
you feel attacked. If you feel attacked, if you feel like you got to block us in your RC Facebook group, hey, come on the show. Come on the show, and we won't. We'll just questions. It's not like it's like
I'm not I'm not going to go crazy on you, and I'm not going to sit here and yell at you and not let you speak or anything. It's just there's questions, and in the interest of transparency and honesty, that's all this show has ever been about.
simple questions.
Transparency,
Simple questions.
transparency and honesty. You can come on here and explain and show the receipts for everything, and I won't have another bad thing to say ever. If you can say and show, hey, look, this is it. Okay,
Hey, that's all right. I'll eat my own words if that's the way that it is.
exactly.
I mean, hey,
There's a whole Reddit section that's the am I the asshole? And I will be 100%. I will 100% admit I'm the asshole. The open invitation is there. Everybody knows how to get in
how
touch with me.
dare you? Oh yeah, I know, right?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can even email me. My email is somewhere on my YouTube page. I'm not going to read it out loud again because JB already signed me up for every freaking spam site there is.
Yep.
So I know I'm going to spend the rest of my week, trying to clear out my Gmail inbox. But seeing as how this was the 10th episode of the show, I wanted to bring some positivity into.
Blech.
Look, it's not everything isn't terrible. The world's not falling apart. The RC industry isn't going to collapse because inflation is going up and China is giving it to us all the way up to the elbow at this point. But
it's a PO box in Florida. Just
the home address. If you email me NorCal, I will send you a fake home address. But yeah, it's just, everybody's entitled.
Yeah, that's just the thing. It's. I mean, there are a few places where I would accept. I guess there's a few places where I would accept other people's opinions, and this just happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
So, if you want to come here and throw your opinions around, then fine. That's what this show is about. 60 white
mustard lame. Hey. You are Troll, the supreme RC master of the universe.
Jesus.
I'm not going to live that one down.
Yeah.
I might be stuck with that one.
Supreme RC master.
I know that RC propaganda is probably not still here, but I'm going to have to start doing videos with the America shorts and the mullet. He's the greatest RC driver in the world. Tony is the king of RCs. So I had to one up both of them.
Our supreme
RC master.
I feel like you should add sour cream on that somehow. Hey, can I get a large Supreme RC Master?
Extra sour cream?
Extra sour cream, please.
Maybe I could change it and just be RC Shifu. And tomatoes.
Tomatoes are extra.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're the Chipotle of RC.
Oh, the only RC show that'll give you gas. Yeah.
And that is That is scary in more ways than one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, when I
That
think
sounds
about
painful.
it. That's
No,
right.
but seriously, I
The
mean,
shit that needs to be said show. The show where you need to bring a bottle of freaking Tums with you.
right.
Uh,
Or a large bottle of something with you.
hey, but overall, we're having fun, and if we get some laughs and we get some smiles and we're having fun, then more than anything, JB and I are doing what we're supposed to be doing here, which is making everybody have fun and smile and be able to say the shit out loud that most of the time you don't get to say. People on the doing live shows on YouTube tend to be quite PC, and we are the anti-PC.
God, I
This,
hope so.
this is the anti-PC show because being PC
I want to
sucks.
talk about religion. I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about that triggers you because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I would talk about religion, but I mean, I'm in that category at this point of
Oh, I'm vanilla, baby.
I'm pretty much in the minds of wokies. I'm pretty much in the category of about as evil as you can possibly get. I am a white, privileged, married Christian man. So I'm pretty much like a racist.
I checked all those right up to the end.
Everything I fall just short
It was the privileged part
of having the freaking of wearing the white hood. Vanilla.
Wearing
Vanilla,
the white.
you are not. See? Yes, devil. I am. And that's it's sad. It's sad that there are so many jackasses
Please
out
define white private. Tell me about it, man.
That's a whole nother show.
Oh yeah, we got 4 minutes left, and you just tackled something huge.
That's yeah, chaos. That is the late night show. That one comes on after midnight. the 18 and over show, talking about white privates.
I don't. I'm not even gonna touch that.
Gotta love autocorrect. Autocorrect might be the greatest human invention of all time.
Oh god.
That in and of itself has created more pain and suffering.
Oh Jesus.
There's nothing that AI could do that autocorrect that could top autocorrect, short of genocide of the human race, because we just need to be used as batteries. That's right, NorCal. Because it's really simple, and I know Chris Rock said it in a comedy routine years and years ago. If you want to avoid getting the crap kicked out of you or killed by the police when you get pulled over for a traffic stop, you just put your hands on the top of the steering wheel and be relatively polite. You're relatively polite. You might get a ticket, and you might not get a ticket.
Wow, NorCal's comment didn't actually show up in the YouTube chat. Or at
The
least
Lords of Truth have censored you, NorCal.
I don't see it over here. I see RC Cape Cod's comment next. So, I mean, I'm about a mile from the Kennedy compound. Yeah, so, I mean, what he said there about white privilege.
Wow. See, the Lords of Truth are always watching.
I don't know if anybody else caught that or not, but NorCal had a comment in there. Anyways, sorry. This show, like I said, this show is so cool because sometimes the shit that needs to be said show, yeah, I've been censored. So have we. I mean, like I said, we're not even allowed to post in some RC groups. So
I'm not even allowed in some RC groups.
We can't even say the shit that needs to be said sometimes.
I was absolutely semi-shocked today when I went to share the link for the show in some groups. Now there's a couple of groups that I share in every week, and then I try to choose some random groups. And I actually had two today that the admins said, no, 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 no. You will not be posting links to your show in our group. I didn't see what he said. NorCal made a comment.
I tried to copy paste it in there. I don't know if it'll let me, but I mean,
White privilege for me is knowing I'm not going to get killed when I get pulled over. That was his chat comment. That doesn't seem necessarily all that bad of a thing to say. Quite funny.
it is. I saw your paste, yeah, but I don't know why. I guess people don't like you either, NorCal. Welcome to the club. You can buy T-shirts at $10 a pop here.
Don't forget about the raffle.
The shit that needs to be said. So yeah, we got get you with the erasers.
Racer bit, you get one for free. $500 a ticket. It'll be going indefinitely.
Indefinitely, but at some point.
But lo and behold,
I didn't see your paste. Yeah, see, I don't know what to tell you because.
So did it take your cut and paste down as well, JB?
I still see it in there, but okay. I mean, I haven't refreshed the page either. But yes, white privilege for me is knowing I'm not going to get killed when I get pulled over. That's what he said.
Which is freaking.
I have arrived. Yeah.
I mean, if you get censored by Lords of Truth, you are definitely doing something right.
The membership fee is $20 a month, and the membership benefits are none. But we like you, so you can hang around.
Well, you know what? Actually, we can offer one membership benefit. So for every $1,000,
I told you I wasn't doing that.
For every $1,000 that you donate to the show, we will give you 10 minutes of free showtime.
Woo!
Just for you. We'll allow you to come on here, 10 minutes.
Damn. Go to town. Is it tax deductible? Absolutely. If you're a nonprofit 501c3.
It is not tax deductible. It is 100% going in mine and JB's pocket. I will be buying stuff and not yet. Because I am not a 501c3 nonprofit organization. I am 100% for profit. I'm in this YouTube gig to get rich. I got space enough in my garage to fit 3 Ferraris, and someday I'm planning on having them filled up with Ferraris.
I wasn't sure of the Supreme. Oh, the chat. Okay, we should probably wind this up.
At some point, we're gonna get in trouble.
Yep.
Hey, everybody! Again, thank you all for coming in and hanging out. For everybody that's here right now, especially thank you for hanging out for the whole show. If you came in late, thanks for hanging until the end. For the folks that came in and had to jump out, thanks for coming in and hanging out.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a blast. And Justin and I talk to each other on the phone regularly, and we never have bad things to say about our show. It's always about we have fun. We have fun seeing what everybody has to say in the chat. You guys are most of the time hilarious.
Some of the best chat.
Yeah. And, I do my fair share of watching shows on YouTube, and by far and above, our chat is the most lively here. And it's because we don't have moderators or admin, striking comments down.
We're not asking you to pay for your StreamYard.
But yeah, it is greatly appreciated for everybody coming in here and hanging out with us. Hi, Mom. Talk to you later. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming in. Let's do this again next Wednesday, same time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it'll be show number 11.
Woo!
So show number 10 we had some weird audience things going on in show
Whatever.
number
It was a
10.
weird show today.
But hey, you know what? We're finishing strong. So again, thank you all, everybody. We will see you next Wednesday. And now comes that awkward time when we don't know when the live shuts